Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Bad Batch video. We just got episode 14 War Mantle, and as I said in my full episode breakdown, I thought it was one of the best episodes of the series so far. Now that we're just 2 episodes away from the end of the season, a big question that many of us have is whether or not we're going to be getting a second season. The short answer is probably. In this video, I want to speculate on where the final 2 episodes might take us, and then evaluate whether a second season will be in order or not. Now, when discussing this subject, the reality of the matter is that Lucasfilm have not confirmed anything, but we are probably going to find out during the end credits of the final episode, episode 16, just under 2 weeks away. As many of you have pointed out, 2 episodes is not enough time to wrap everything up, or is it? I would make the argument that it could be. Just take a look at yesterday's episode. War Mantle really proved to us just how rapidly the show can switch gears. A lot of resolve occurred in the last episode, and while the Bad Batch have a sticky situation to deal with, Kamino has already been taken over by the Empire, the TK stormtroopers have already come into the picture, and the galaxy on the whole feels much more reminiscent of the original trilogy than the Republic days of the prequels and the Clone Wars. If the next 2 episodes are well paced and longer than the previous ones, then I think it's absolutely possible to wrap up the entire show in just 1 season. Even more proof of this is the ending of War Mantle. Hunter is in a very bad situation, and unless Crosshair is just bluffing and about to admit his desire to leave the Empire, then Hunter and potentially the rest of the batch are doomed. I'm not saying the show is going to end in tragedy, but it's certainly a possibility. Having said that, realistically, there's a lot of evidence that points to the fact that we are getting more than 1 season. Not only has Jennifer Corbett referred to this current season as season 1 multiple times, there are still so many story arcs that need to be explored. We might get the conclusion of Kamino, the Empire and Crosshair, but what about Captain Rex's journey between now and Rebels, the story of Omega and the surviving members of the Bad Batch? Unless all of the members die, which I think is improbable, it's likely that we're going to get 1 more season to wrap things up. Another strong piece of evidence that we are going to get a season 2 is all of the new characters and stories that have been set up during this season. For example, why reintroduce the Pikes and show us a new character, Roland Durand, if that's not going to tie into a more important episode further down the line? Dave Filoni does not create these episodes for nothing, and it seems as though we'll understand their significance further on. He did this for many story arcs in the Clone Wars and Rebels as well. Episodes that might seem like fillers to some are really not.
I like a lot of the episodes. I think they all have unique stories, even episodes that I know people on the team tell me fans call filler episodes. They'll be surprised how important those episodes are later, I'll say that.
Another option is that instead of a season 2 of the Bad Batch, we might be getting another spin-off, or the story of Omega and whoever does survive this season will be continued in other Star Wars media, whether that's in book form, comics, or probably most appropriately, live action. There are quite a few possibilities in the upcoming project catalogue at Lucasfilm where the Bad Batch could fit. The Andor series and Obi-Wan Kenobi spring to mind, but even later in the timeline in the Mandalorian universe, Omega's adulthood could be explored. But both things can definitely be true at the same time. We could get a season 2 of the Bad Batch, as well as bringing those characters into live action. All in all, it's looking more and more likely that we are going to be getting a season 2 of this series, but if for whatever reason we don't, I trust that the team at Lucasfilm knows how to wrap up this story in style. But as I say guys, I wholeheartedly expect that the end of episode 16 will get that famous logo zoom into screen with the words Season 2 coming soon underneath it. That would be absolutely awesome. But with all of that said guys, let's focus on the current story that we're dealing with and how the final 2 episodes might play out. To be honest guys, I love how unpredictable this series has been so far, and in that same vein, I have no clue what's going to happen next. None of us do, but I suspect now that Hunter's been captured, he's either going to be taken to Kamino, or as I said, Crosshair might reveal to him that he wants to leave the Empire. Notice how Crosshair said that he was hoping for the whole batch to be there. That's either because he wanted to capture all of them, or he wanted the big reveal to be in front of all of his brothers and not just Hunter. If we leave the optimism side out of it, I think Crosshair's going to give Hunter an ultimatum: join the Empire or die. Now let's be honest here, that's going to put Hunter in a very difficult situation, and I'm eager to see how that plays out. But what about the rest of the batch who managed to get away in time. Well, in the past, Hunter has been the big brains behind most operations of the Bad Batch. You might say it's Tech, but while Tech is systematically vital, it's always been Hunter who knows how to use his noggin to get the Batch out of difficult scenarios. Without him, I think the Batch is going to need extra help, and I think Sid is their first port of call. Sid has all of the contacts they might need, and I believe this would be the perfect time to introduce Boba Fett into the series. Plus, it gets him on the minds of fans just months away from the Book of Boba, a perfect marketing strategy. But anyway, either Fennec Shand or Boba Fett will be contacted, and I think Omega will call upon Nala Se for help. Nala Se's storyline is going to be very interesting from here on out, since she's now going to work for the Empire. Just like in The Mandalorian Season 2, the penultimate episode is going to be rallying up the troops, and then the finale is going to be about executing a massive rescue. What I'm really saying, guys, is buckle up, because we're about to go on one hell of a ride. In previous videos, I talked about a big cameo, but it's looking less and less likely unless, of course, we do get Boba Fett, or even Darth Vader at the very end. Now, one more thing, throughout this video you've heard me refer to the Bad Batch as the surviving members, because no matter what, I can't help but feel that one of them is going to be killed off. It's most likely going to be Crosshair, who technically isn't in the Batch anymore. But back to the final 2 episodes. The main action in the next episode, in my estimation, is going to be on Ord Mantell, because that has become the main base for the Bad Batch. Tech is going to have to explain to Sid why they abandoned the mission they were doing for her in order to rescue Gregor. She probably is not going to be too happy, but if she has become the ally that we've come to respect, then hopefully she'll understand and help them out. All in all, guys, the final 2 episodes are a complete mystery because we don't know the episode titles, and Lucasfilm really want to keep things under wraps. Until now, for every single episode, all 14 of them so far, we've had little teasers on Twitter or Reddit. I don't think we're going to have that at all for the final 2 episodes. But we're definitely in for a potentially saga-changing ending to the series, and I can't wait for it. But I now turn it over to you guys. What do you think? Do you think we're going to be getting a season 2 of The Bad Batch? Or does episode 16 in 2 weeks' time signify the final stop? Let me know all of your thoughts of today's video and episode 14 War Mantle in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are. And also, guys, if you're feeling generous, please consider becoming a patron. The link is in the description down below, or hit the join button to become a channel member. Otherwise, my dear friends, this is where we part. And I'm Star Wars Meg, as always, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.